Before we start, I say several words about this interview to introduce our program and you for our students. And after this, we can start, okay?
Yes.
Our historical faculty, we have an educational program of Oriental Studies. And within this program, we have Azerbaijan Studies. And our students offered to study discipline history of Azerbaijan. And they're familiar and they try to study deep and more deeper, like history of Azerbaijan Republic and South Azerbaijan. And today we would like to receive more information from a person who was involved in different processes, in very important processes in South Azerbaijan. And I adorable to speak with our lecturer, with our guest, Mr. Salekh Kamraní. He is a lawyer and politician. And nice to meet you, Mr. Kamraní.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. As you said, I'm not historian, but I studied a little bit about the Azerbaijani history and Iranian history. My professionality is law. I worked as a lawyer in Tehran 12 years. Then I studied again law in Sweden. Then I accepted in Shevchenko University in political science. I'm continue to complete my PhD in political science in Shevchenko, but because of Russian intervention in a lovely country, I like very much Ukraine. I stopped my study, but I try to resume that. I'm gonna give some information about South Azerbaijan and relation of South Azerbaijan with the Republic of Azerbaijan and position of South Azerbaijan in whole Iran. It will be
sure, yes. Okay, we can start. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Salekh, I know that you was a human rights activist in South Azerbaijan, and we would like to know what was your motivation to engage in this process, and where did you find courage to start human rights activist in this not democratic country?
Yes, very question in the place. You know, as I said, I am lawyer. When I study law in university in Shiraz and Tehran University, I noticed there is very harsh discrimination about Azerbaijani, about non-Persian people in Iran. You know, Iran is a multinational country. It's mixed up many nations, one country, but different nations in Iran. But the official policy in Iran from the 96 years ago, it's assimilation, systematic assimilation about non-Persian ethnic groups, including Azerbaijani, South Azerbaijani. For your information, the country called as Iran, it's governed by Turkish dynasties, Turkish empires from more than 1,000 years. From the beginning of Ghaznavid dynasty, Iran has been governed by Turkish dynasties like Ghaznavid, Khwarezmshahiyan, Ilkhaniyan, Safavid, and so on, etc., until the Qajar dynasties before 96 years ago. During Turkish governance, no religion, Persian, Kurds, Arabs, Baluch, they never been assimilated, they never been excluded from the sphere of life. But after changing the body policy, but Persian ethnic groups, by help of that times British Empire, they changed the course of policy in Iran. The policy was against especially Turks. You know, we have at least 4 sources of Turks in Iran. The biggest one is Azerbaijani, South Azerbaijan. South Azerbaijani Turks, Kashgai Turks, Turkmen Turks, Khorasani Turks, Khalaj Turks, etc. The main policy of Iran during this 1 century was against Turks and Arab people. We have almost 5 million Arab in Iran. It was my motivation to fight against the discrimination in Iran. In terms of public, in terms of population in Iran, Turks in Iran, they make at least relatively majority of Iranian people population. Mm-hmm. It's not my statement. Foreign Minister of Iran, Mr. Salehi, if you search from YouTube, you're going to find it. He had a interview in Turkey. He said, we have big link with Turkey because at least 40% of Iranians speak Turkish. It means at least majority of Iranians are Turks. Majority of Turks in Iran are South Azerbaijani. South Azerbaijan is continuation of Republic of Azerbaijan. South Azerbaijan is equal three times bigger than Republic of Azerbaijan. When I talked about the dynasty of Ghaznavid and other Turkish empire until 1813, the war against Qajar dynasty by the Russian Empire. We had the Treaty of Gulistan. After that, Azerbaijan, they split it for 2 parts, South Azerbaijan and North Azerbaijan. North Azerbaijan became the independent country in 1918, after 2 years invaded by the communist Soviet until 1901. Again, Azerbaijan get its independency like Ukraine. But South Azerbaijan, because South Azerbaijan was a main body of whole country, because they govern the country. The Azerbaijani Turks in Iran is not a minority. Now situation is changed. Azerbaijani Turks in Iran, in terms of number, population, we are majority, but in terms of law, in terms of getting law, we live in minority situation, minority that lacks all minority rights. It was my situation, my position, motivation to fight against the situation, against this discrimination, this racism against Azerbaijani, against Turks, against also other minorities in Iran. That's why I began first as a lawyer, define to protect people they are active in this cause. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I was myself also as a activist, Azerbaijani activist against this discriminatory situation. It was my motivation.
Thank you very much. When you say about discrimination, you say about cultural discrimination, political discrimination, if I understand properly, yes. And what is the main purpose of Azerbaijan national movement? What is your vision of future? What is the main purpose of this movement?
Yes, you know, if you are in terms of population, you are majority, it is very difficult to understand. For normally people, they are living under a discriminatory situation. It was our case. It's a case in context of Iran, because Azerbaijanian under more than 1,000 years, they governed the country. Even the name of Iran was not Iran. For example, during the history, you are historian. Safavid Empire, Seljuk Empire. Azerbaijan, it was unimaginary for the Azerbaijanian. They are lost their power. That is so difficult. Azerbaijani national movement, we can consider at least 30 years duration of this movement that called for Azerbaijani national movement. It began exactly after independence of Azerbaijan, Republic of Azerbaijan. We have impressed so much by independence of the Republic of Azerbaijan. The people got more information, more motivation. If we have Republic of Azerbaijan, even though it's very smaller than our Azerbaijan, why our situation is so bad? Why we don't have own identity? Why we don't have our language, culture in public sphere, in official sphere? You know that the language of Azerbaijan is forbidden in Iran. Officially, our music, our studying of Azerbaijan, real history of Azerbaijan and Turks in Iran is forbidden. It's a systematically. You asked me about the cultural discrimination against Azerbaijan is a total. It's a whole discrimination. It's a system. It's not just the cultural discrimination. It's the discrimination you can trace in all spheres, in culture, in economy, in everything. We can say Azerbaijanian living under a new internal colonial system. I can say internal colonial system. I can give an example. For example, we have a lake of Urumia, you know, it's an internal lake, salty lake, the biggest lake in Iran, maybe in Middle East. It's drying up knowingly by plan. Iran's regime drying up the Urumia lake to make its ethnic cleansing plan to replace Azerbaijanian from the border of Republic of Azerbaijan and Turkey to internal part of Iran, to control all Azerbaijani and Turks. That's why I say Azerbaijani and Turks in Iran, they are living under not just discriminate. Discriminate is a very positive. How I can say it? It's a gift for Iranians. If we just consider as a discriminatory policy, it's Azerbaijani living under occupation of Iran, under internal colonialism of body policy. It's the problem. We have created, how I can say, established a South Azerbaijani national movement to find a solution for this very unhuman situation we have stuck in.
Thank you. I understood. If I understand correctly, Azerbaijan government doesn't recognize Azerbaijan in Iran like a separate nation. Yes, they try to assimilate all nation, big
Not
nation.
Azerbaijan, Iran, you mean? I think.
Iran, yes, Iran, yes.
Yeah, Iran.
Iran government, yes, Iran government.
Iranian statehood is based on two very important, I mean, for the regime, important pillar. One is Persianism. They don't consider Azerbaijanian as a Turk. They consider Azerbaijanian as a part of Iranian nation. Their language has changed by Turkish dynasties, even by Mongols. It's a false theory in history, but it's the official policy of Iran. One pillar is that they consider all 85 million population of Iran as a just one nation, one language, one identity, as a Persian. Two, a second pillar of Iranian Islamic Republic of Iran statehood is Shiism. Shiism. Despite we have at least 15% of Iranian, they believe for Sunni Shia, but Iran never accepted that. That's why they misuse the system, policy body. They misuse religion, Shia religion also, for, how I can say, for the favorite of Persianism. If you look for the Iranian statehood system, you see Iranian system as an Islamic system, but it's just a cover, Even Islam is a pretext for Iranian mullahs to beacon, to largen Persianism in the Middle East, even in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, in other countries, by means of terrorism. Iran is a big supporter of Russia against Ukraine also. The same policy, if you it's clear Iran can't persuade Persianism policy in Ukraine because there is no Persian in Ukraine, but Iran need a protector. They are working together with Russia. They need protection of Russia for his terrorism in the Middle East. I mean, that's why it's impossible for Iranian system to accept Azerbaijanian as a Turks in Iran. It's the same for Arab people also. They don't say we have Arab ethnic groups. They say we have Arab speaking people. They believe Arab, they are not Arab, just their language has changed. We have to try to change for the origin language as a Iranian, as a Persian. It's against the reality, against it. That's why we have to fight against this.
I understood, and here in Ukraine we understood you very well because we have not similar situation, but we had very similar situation with Russians, and Russian doesn't recognize Ukrainian today, especially. Like
the same. The Iranian system is more, I can say, most sensitive against Azerbaijanian, comparing with Arab, with Kurd, with Baloch. and other non-Persian ethnic group, because Azerbaijani are the majority of Iranian. One, two, Azerbaijani have governed Iran at least more than 1,000 years. It's important. Azerbaijani against this discriminatory system, their presence in the all sphere of the country, I mean in universities, in economy, in everywhere, it's clear, it's obvious. That's why Iran has a very complex policy against the Azerbaijani, comparing with other non-Persian people. They use how I can say ethnopolitic, very complex ethnopolitic policy against us, but to control the South Azerbaijani national movement. They try not to how I can say contradict obviously with Azerbaijan, normal Azerbaijani people. At the same time, the regime suppress systematically Azerbaijani activists. That's why you can't find even one Azerbaijani activist who has executed by Iran regime. But you can find among Kurds, among how I can say Baluch, Arab, because we have, first of all, we have we are a civil movement. We are totally civil movement, non-violently. We use non-violently methods. That's why Iran's regime's hands a little bit closed. Then Iranian regime tried not to conflict very apparently with normal people. That's why I say it's difficult to explain really, because if Azerbaijan, South Azerbaijan, can get its independency or determine his destination, it will be we're gonna see another Iran. The characteristic of Iran will be changed. But what is our vision about the future of Iran, future of South Azerbaijan? We believe Iran combined of several nations. First of all, two, every nation has right of self-determination. It's important. Two, self-determination, we have internal self-determination, external self-determination. If we can, if our people, every nation can determine his destiny and use its self-determination right, we can have a federal system in Iran with at least 5 or 6 nations, including Persians. It can work. It can work. But otherwise, if people can't by establishing a federal system to get for his right, they have right to be independent. They have right to be independent. But problem is, one, first of all, Iranian regime. Two, some opposition group who they have the same opinion, same policy as the regime. For example, monarchists. Monarchists, they they have governed more than 55 years before Islamic regime. They had the same policy as the Iranian regime, nowadays Iranian regime. Even it was the monarchy system. They established the anti-Turk, anti-Arab, anti-non-Persian people's policy in Iran. That's why the problem is two parts: Iranian regime and some opposition group who has the same policy as the Iranian regime. For example, monarchy system. Even we have another centrist groups like Mujahideen, like Republicans, Iranian Republicans. Some of them, they have the same policy. That's why to change the Iranian regime, we have two front of non-Persian, front of centrist, centralist, even, or we can say centralist. Centralist combined of monarchists, Mujahideen, and others. Non-Persian front is in front of all non-Persian front is Azerbaijani Turks and other Turks, Arabs, Baluch, Kurds, and others. We believe for the self-determination of all nations, but the centralists, they don't care about the human rights. They don't care about the right of self-determination of every nation. It's a problem in the opposition side. That's why it takes long time to change the regime.
I understood. Thank you. I read that you had the Central Party of Azerbaijan. Is correct?
Yes.
Could you please tell us a little bit about its activity? If I understand correctly, this party in external, yes, it's not in the Iran.
No. I was active almost 30 years in South Azerbaijani national movement. I can say I am one of the first generation of new phase of Azerbaijani national movement. I was active inside Iran. As I said, I worked as a lawyer, human rights lawyer, and ordinary lawyer in Tehran 12 years. I was advocate of many Azerbaijani activists, also non-Azerbaijani activists, even Persian activists. For example, Mohsen Sazgara, the vice president of Iran. He's living now in USA. I was a lawyer of vice president of Iran. At the same time, I was a student activist in case of non-Persian people and Azerbaijani. Also, I was arrested several times by Iranian forces because of my activities, most human rights activities. That's why it was impossible for me to continue for my work and for my life, for my political life inside Iran. That's why I flee Iran to Turkey, then to Sweden. In Sweden, 2019, we established Central Party of South Azerbaijan. Because in Iran, it's impossible to establish a party. It's impossible. We have members inside Iran, inside Azerbaijan, South Azerbaijan, also outside. But we can't declare identity of our members inside Iran. It is very dangerous for their life. It's right. We established the party outside, but we have members inside Azerbaijan also. The main policy of the South Azerbaijani Central Party is getting self-determination for every nations inside Iran, not just for South Azerbaijanian, even though our first goal is to get South Azerbaijanian self-determination. We have very pragmatist method, pragmatist point of view for different political issues. We try to disseminate our message in all the world, especially in Western world. We try to get contact with NGOs, with politicians in Europe, in USA. We managed to have a lot of conferences in Brussels, in European Parliament, in New York, and other countries. We have, I can say, good connection with the Arabian journalists, Arabian media outlet, European and USA. We had recently 2 big demonstrations in Brussels, 25 March. Even we had some contributor from Ukraine. We raised for Ukraine issues also. We condemned the intervention of Russia in Ukraine. We condemned Iran's drones supplying to Russia. Also, after 41 days, we had a big demonstration in Berlin at the same subject. I remember, if you search our website or on social media, it was the 2nd day of intervention of Russia in Ukraine. We condemned this this intervention, illegal intervention, as a central party of Azerbaijan. If you read the declaration, we believe we have the same, we South Azerbaijanian, we have the same situation as Ukraine had in Soviet time, in all Soviet Union, also now. Because it was without Ukraine, creating of Soviet Union was almost impossible. It was again Ukraine. It was the exit of Ukraine from the Soviet Union. It end to splitting of all the system. Yes. Now, because Russia can't accept special or own identity of Ukraine as a country, as an independent country, we believe it will end to splitting of Russia Federation. We have the same situation in Iran as the South Azerbaijanian, because imagination of Iran without South Azerbaijan is impossible. That's why, if Iran can't dramatically change the course of policy against South Azerbaijanian, it will end to splitting of whole the system. It's not my statement. It's the statement of Brenda Schaefer. You can find her contribution about South Azerbaijani reality. It was she compared the situation of or position of South Azerbaijan with the position of Ukraine. It's the simulation of Mrs. Brenda Schaefer, I believe, for that.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting and interesting comparing. Yes, and I think it's fair enough sure, previously Ukrainian also was like a systematically important part of Russian Empire, and after that, after Soviet Union, and sure, Russia without Ukraine, it's not Russian Empire.
We as a central party also we plan to have a big conference in Kiev 2019 in President Hotel. We booked hotel also. We plan to have a big conference with the participation of 500 people from many countries, but we stuck with COVID-19. Then with war, also we end up in this situation.
Yes.
I hope it's gonna continue for that.
Yes, it is a big tragedy for every of us, and our life absolutely changed after this.
Really,
it's true. It's true. Yes. Thank you very much for your attention and for your knowledge, for your contribution for our course, and it's very interesting and useful for our student. Really thank you for this, and I hope we will meet sometime.
Thank you. I'm gonna be with you, no problem, and I appreciate your efforts. Also, I try to introduce for you other guys from South Azerbaijan, even historian. It's very important for us, very precious for us to have our Ukrainian friends, scholars. It's really a new window for the South Azerbaijanian in Ukraine. It's very important for us.
Thank you. For us also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and peace. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.